Vivek Ranadive needs to sell the Sacramento Kings. There's no two ways around it. This is not something I say lightly, nor is it something I revel in saying, although I have made the statement in the past. It still rings true today. Our city cannot keep doing this. Why are we resigned to the whims of a clueless idiot who seems desperate to stomp on his own dick at every turn? Scott Perry to be the general manager after not doing any sort of search? That's not acceptable behavior from an NBA governor. The thing is, I don't have unrealistic or even lofty expectations. Like most Sacramentens, my demands are based in reality and are extremely reasonable. Most people in the city, myself included, don't dream of NBA titles. All we want is for the Kings to try, occasionally be competitive, and, most importantly, not embarrass themselves and the city by proxy. It would be nice to have a conversation with a fellow NBA fan from another town without them just taking pity on us. Oh, you're a Kings fan? Sorry about that. At this point in time, we've seen enough. We know exactly what to expect from Vivek Ranadive's stewardship of the Kings. Stupidity and lots of it. Seemingly a never-ending amount of dumbness. Naturally, he doesn't see this because he pays to have people around him that tell him otherwise, and when they disagree, he just ignores them anyway. That is not changing, and it would be absolute foolishness to expect otherwise. We know exactly what we're going to get from Ranadive because we are more than a decade into this experiment. Stripes here are not changing. Worse yet, at least the Maloofs won some basketball games before their heel turn. We had a few good moments here and there. The highlight of Ranadive's tenure is what, blowing a 2-0 series lead as a 3 seed? As good as it gets, right? And the lowlights, well, I've covered those many a time on this channel, so no need to go over them because they are so plentiful. It's the sporting equivalent of picking apples at Apple Hill. Defenders of Ranadive use two arguments to justify his ownership, increasingly flimsy arguments at that. Firstly, he saved the franchise and kept them in Sacramento. And secondly, Sacramento is a small market and we just can't do any better. Let's start with the former. Ranadive showed up with money to fund a ready-made arena plan in Sacramento. He did none of the hard yards. He just threw some cash at the situation. That cash, of course, has made him money in the long term and significantly increased the value of his investment in the Sacramento Kings. Crucially, this is his reward, not some infinite get-out-of-jail-free card for crappy ownership. Like, he's made his money back and will eventually make a lot more money when he sells the team. Hopefully that's soon. However, just because someone pulls you out of a burning car doesn't mean they get to spend the rest of their lives crashing on your couch and asking you for money. As for Sacramento being a small market, yeah, so? It's not like Sacramento is the only small market in basketball or all of professional sports for that matter. And most ownership groups in small markets, bar Major League Baseball, seem to be at least somewhat competent. Clay Bennett is human pawn scum and he's managed to oversee multiple winning eras with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Milwaukee was sold, got a new arena build, and won a championship in roughly the same time frame Ranadive has owned the Kings. The Utah Jazz have been far more successful than the Sacramento Kings could ever dream of, and the only thing Utah has on Sacramento are big ol' sloppy butts. I seriously hope no one ever plays the song Rump Shaker by Rexin-Effect because it would just cause untold destruction in the state. Where was I again? Oh yeah, sell the Sacramento Kings, Vivek Ranadive. The hiring of Scott Perry as general manager is just another last straw and a seemingly never-ending pulling of last straws for us in the city. This is a terrible hire, setting aside the whole 3-month stint he had with the Kings as vice president of basketball operations in 2017. A weird situation, no doubt, but let's just look past that for the moment. Perry's track record as general manager of the New York Knicks was underwhelming. His claim to fame is signing Jalen Brunson, but now he's coming to Sacramento, a city where free agents never sign. I mean, Sacramento is not a place where free agents go. So what are you telling me here, that Brunson was so impressed by Perry that he would have signed in Sacramento? Market be damned that Perry has this sort of pull with players? Probably not. While we're at it, you can spare me the whole people are vouching for Perry saying he's a great front office executive. Look, there are folks out there still vouching for Matt Millen even after after his disastrous tenure with the Detroit Lions. In sports, someone will always vouch for someone else no matter how terrible they were. Better yet though, let's just look at Perry's track record as a front office executive. He was with the Detroit Pistons as vice president of basketball operations between 2008 and 2012 when the franchise just bottomed out. He goes to Orlando and they do nothing while he's loafing around. For some reason though, the Kings hire him. He's there for, again, 3 months. That's it, before heading over to the New York Knicks. However, their turnaround coincides with the arrival of Leon Rose. Perry was with the Knicks for 3 seasons before Rose shows up. They do basically nothing, and then Leon Rose comes, the team starts to get better. I don't know if Perry gets any credit here or if he deserves any credit here. Perhaps more worryingly is that Perry has spent his past year of unemployment dropping bad or pointless basketball takes and posting these really terrible motivational messages. This is fodder for the unimpressive, opium for the donkey-brained. The only people who these messages ever resonate with are those too stupid to actually understand the person is just sharing basic common sense using some fancy flowery language. Worse yet, those people usually hold the messenger in high regard for giving them such great advice when, in reality, those of us with a functioning brain can see right through this bullshit. And this is bullshit. Oh, look, it's Sacramento Kings owner Vivek Ranadive, a chump, a schmuck, someone dumb enough to eat up Perry's shtick with a spoon. Now, we do know Perry is just around to be a puppet to Ranadive anyway, so the Kings owner gets someone blowing these motivational messages up his butthole while he's running the team poorly and usually into the ground. Meanwhile, we in Sacramento just have to smile and take it. I'm sorry, but no thank you. Ranadive needs to go. He's needed to go for a few years now, but there is no time like the present to make it happen. How much longer must the River City sit through his stupid decision making and his ability to find new and exciting ways to ruin our professional basketball franchise? Sadly, the Sell the Kings movement won't pick up much, if any, momentum. People just dismiss me as being a hater, which, sure, fair enough. And those fans would actually listen to are still within the team's orbit. It was super easy for Carmichael, Dave, and KHTK to pile on them a loose when the franchise was on the verge of leaving. They had nothing to lose then. Ironically, Carmichael Dave's efforts to keep the Kings in Sacramento would go on to cost him his job, at least temporarily, as legal proceedings played out. In 2025, when the topic of Kings ownership and Vivek Ranadive is broached, it is done so by the station and Dave with kid gloves, not overly critical. Oftentimes, it feels like he's teaching a master class on fence sitting. He's not pro Ranadive, but he's also not coming out and saying what needs to be said here, although it does seem pretty obvious. He knows what's what.
I know how to sit on a fence. Hell, I can even sleep on a fence.
Meanwhile, the Sacramento Bee's voice has been significantly diminished in recent times. So-called superfans also happen to work for the team, so they're not going to be overly honest about the situation. And then you have those on the fringes of the Sacramento sports media scene who just seem content with this aw shucks approach that, like, well, it's kind of stinky that the Kings aren't very good and Ranadive's not a great owner, but, you know, we have a team, so that's something. That mindset is bad, and it's enabling behavior that allows the Kings to carry on with this pattern of self-destruction. More importantly, if you're afraid to lose, you're never going to win, and right now, the Sacramento media, as it relates to the Kings, is afraid to lose. At the end of the day, Sacramento deserves better. Sacramento deserves a Kings team that doesn't embarrass the city with an owner who does dumb thing after dumb thing after dumb thing after dumb thing. I'm gonna stop there, but I could keep going. Don't give me this, well, I hope one day things will change. You just gotta believe. Maybe Vivek Ranadive has that come to Jesus moment or whatever deity you happen to believe in. That's just gonna get you nowhere. Seriously, that and $1.89 gets you a 32-ounce cup full of that shitty energy drink that's in the Arco AM/PM soda fountain. I once saw someone mix that with horchata at an AM/PM, and you know, somehow that terrible decision is better than most of the things Vivek Ranadive has done as owner of the Sacramento Kings. Call me crazy, but I harbor ambitions for more. Not a lot, mind you. Just a front office with a coherent plan in place, an occasional winning season now and again, a Kings team that isn't an embarrassment. This hasn't and won't happen under current ownership. That one season has proven to be the exception, not the rule. Things are not changing. We have more than enough evidence to show what we're going to get with Vivek Ranadive as owner of the Sacramento Kings. More importantly though, bad owners don't change after more than a decade. They just bunker down and allow the situation to fester. You can demand change now, or you can put it off and demand change later. The only difference is going to be that the situation just stays the same or potentially gets worse. Ultimately though, change still needs to happen. Let's stop kicking the can down the road. Vivek Ranadive didn't save the Sacramento Kings, nor does Sacramento owe him a damn thing. I truly wish the situation was different, but we can't keep giving someone the benefit of the doubt only for them to abuse that. Let's not fool ourselves into believing in some false reality. Let's not find hope in a situation that is hopeless. Vivek Ranadive's ownership of the Kings is a hopeless situation in which the franchise will continue to lose and do really stupid things. More Ranadive Kings ownership means more losing and more embarrassment, full stop. With all that being said, I'm going to leave you with 2 points to ponder. First, if you love big sloppy butts, you're going to love Utah. And second, hey, ho, ho, Ranadive's dumbass has got to go. Sell the Kings. It's really that simple. It won't happen. Probably should though. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to know more about how Vivek Ranadive is ruining baseball in the River City, check out the video in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. And for the story of how Sacramento almost landed an MLS franchise in 1994, video lower left-hand corner. Until next time, I am Cheyenne Hollis. This is The Touchback. And as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.